terms of the implementation, so they are a 6 through 12 adoption of Define Careers. They're using specific components for different things to meet their needs across all of these different grade levels. You heard it from early, the session right before me, the Pathways Matching Assessment. We have that available for all grades 6 through 12. That is a multidimensional assessment where we're looking at their interests, their values, as well as their study preferences. And from that assessment, we recommend 4 career pathways, and there's a number of different careers. Now they have access to look at all of the different careers within Define Careers, but it kind of helps students fine tune their, sometimes they just don't, we always say you can't be what you can't see. And this is really kind of helping students see what all is out there in terms of different career options for them. So they do that every year, grades 6 through 12. They're also using, and I've heard it in a couple of different presentations before either, SMART goals. This is part of their Portrait of a Graduate, which is already built into our Define Careers platform for them. Their entire customized Portrait of a Graduate is in there. Students each year are going into Define Careers and then writing down their SMART goals. And we just introduced this year really some enhanced reporting. So the counselors there are loving it. It's like, oh gosh, we can just run a report on their 6th grade SMART goal and see who all has written one, and it's all right there documented right within their portfolio. One of the most important things are the career courses. So that's where they're actually going in. They're trying to do, I remember when they first started rolling it out, the goal was to do 4, 1 per quarter. They wanted to have, now, like Dave said, sometimes when people hear project-based learning, they get a little bit overwhelmed because we don't want it to be just another thing that's that the teachers have to do. So what they ended up doing was having every student and all the teachers were doing the same course to start. So to kind of do baby steps and let everybody kind of get used to, kind of dip their toe in the water and practice a little bit. And then they could have students doing the choice. So kind of picking a career that then they would like to do. So kind of trying to do some sort of like alternation there. They're doing between about 1 a quarter, then they kind of switch to about 1 per semester in order to kind of have, it's kind of everybody as they're going through and figuring out what works best. It's always kind of an experiment. So they began this, one of the things is always like, well, where in the school day do we fit this in? How can we do this? They had an advisory course that was like every week or so for about an hour or so. That's roughly about what it was. So they started with the advisories, having students do that. Anytime that they were in advisory, they were working through, what one advisory was taking the Pathways Matching Assessment. Then it was starting to work through and having the advisory teacher work with them through the career courses, each, either quarter or semester, depending on where they were at. Now, one of the things I forgot to mention about myself is I'm a former teacher as well. I taught high school math for several years. And I don't know if your students are like mine, but unless it was 4th grade, they didn't care. Like, they needed some accountability. And so what they were finding was, even though, career exploration a lot of times is very fun and exciting for students, but some students still just don't care. And so because advisory was not for a grade, they wanted to provide a little bit more accountability for the students. So they have moved it into a regular class. I believe it is now in their social studies classes, where about once a week or once every 2 weeks, they are focused on that, because that way it is, now it's like they're on the hook. It is for a grade. So that was something that was a learning lesson for them, that they did still have to have some accountability for students.